Narito na.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to episode numero dos of my food travel and culinary podcast. Again, this is your host, Alfonso Cocinero for Alfonso Cocinero Podcasts. Tonight, on our second episode, we're going to talk about careers in hospitality and tourism industry. So, what are the careers or jobs that the hospitality and tourism industry offers for the new generation? Okay, to start off tonight's episode numero dos, let's first have a background all about the hospitality and tourism industry. Did you know that this industry operates in a highly competitive environment? This is actually a billion or even trillions of dollars industry all over the world. Of course, everyone who travels must eat, must check into the hotels, to the resorts. So this is a very competitive industry. It is also very important that those seeking jobs or careers as successful professionals from this industry should develop a strong business background that includes not only those in the hospitality and tourism subjects, but as well as accounting, information technology, which is very important nowadays because we are in the modern generation. Economics management is very important as well, and of course marketing and human resources. Graduates of the hospitality, tourism, and culinary arts nowadays should be well rounded with a combination of business and life skills that are in high demand with a lot of employers all over the world. And as we all know, of course, hospitality and tourism industry is among the world's largest and fastest growing industries in the world, offering endless opportunities for ambitious students and interns as well who enjoy working with people. Of course, as we all know, this industry is a service industry. Of course, the hospitality and tourism management offers a variety of options for everyone. So tonight, we're going to find out what are the careers in the hospitality, tourism, and culinary industry after you graduate. We may have heard that before that the job in hospitality and tourism industry is one glorious job. Yeah, a friend once told me that people perceive those in our industry as that we have glorious and glamorous jobs. But you may have heard that a career in hospitality and tourism industry is like constantly being on a holiday. It's being on a holiday in terms of you hanging out in the hotels, bars, and restaurants all day, but not actually having a vacation because you're doing a bit of work here and there, and a lot of graduates nowadays they jet off around the world, of course not to have vacation of some sort, but because they have to work there as OJTs or interns. In the United States of America now, I heard there's a lot of demand for hotel restaurant management and culinary arts graduates. So a lot of students from the Philippines they apply online to have their OJTs and internship there. So if you're interested with that, I can put some link in the description where you can actually apply as interns or on the job trainees in the United States and some parts of the world. But on tonight's episode, we're focusing more on the career after you graduate in the hospitality and tourism industry, as well as the culinary arts. So before we go into those details, if we think that many people pursue lifelong careers in the hospitality and tourism. These careers can be exciting, challenging, and varied. However, they also require a lot of hard work and dedication. Actually, for me, it's more on passion. This industry is more on passion because sometimes you don't get paid a lot. You experience more than 12 hours shift at times, and you work on a holiday. And yes, of course, the main thing to know about careers in hospitality, tourism, and culinary is that it's never going to be your typical 9 to 5 job. Unlike those in the offices, the people who work in this industry really take one for the team and work when other people are having fun. For example, people who work in, bars, clubs, and restaurants, and sometimes, of course, these pubs, these bars, who work mainly in the evening, and people who work in the tourism are especially busy when everyone is having their vacation or their summer holidays. Jobs in the hospitality, tourism, and culinary industry, we're all about providing friendly, efficient, and attentive customer service. Consequently, excellent communication skills, patience, and a friendly nature are very essential for us to thrive in this industry. Now, you really have to want to work in this industry to do it well. As I've said earlier, it takes a lot of passion, and it's a lot more difficult to be friendly and helpful if you're not enjoying it yourself and if you're not passionate about the job given to you. Okay, now let's move to the careers or the jobs that you can have after graduating from the hospitality, tourism, and culinary schools. You're unlikely to come across a lot of French jobs or French job titles during your quest for employment. That is, unless you are a chef. The French Brigade System is used until now, or what we call the Brigade de Cuisine, and all modern professional kitchens run according to a strict hierarchy with the French Brigade System. Last week, I've mentioned that in 2019 and 2020, there will be new and modern ways for a kitchen brigade, but until or up to this day, many restaurants and hotels are still using the French Brigade System. The structure will vary slightly depending on the size and the style of the restaurant. So if you really want to work in the kitchen industry or the culinary industry, even if you're not a chef, knowing what a chef means, it's everybody's informed nowadays because we watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, Master Chef. So okay, that's it. In the name of logic, we'll start from the top of the hierarchy. Okay, the very first job in the culinary industry is what we called the executive chef. The executive chef is the very top of the kitchen management structure. It is the only the largest establishment have usually an executive chef. If the brigade is really, really big, most likely this establishment will really have an executive chef. So after the executive chef Sometimes, if a brigade is too big, sometimes the executive chef assigns a head chef, or also known as chef de cuisine. A chef de cuisine is the traditional French term for the head chef, although it is slightly more common in European kitchens. And yes, the head chef is the title that's used most prevalently around the world. The chef de cuisine generally controls the whole kitchen, from managing the kitchen staff and controlling kitchen costs to liaising with suppliers and creating the menus. Depending on the restaurant or the size of the kitchen and the individual themselves, much like CEOs of the corporate world, the head chef will often leave much of the day-to-day running of the kitchen to individuals lower down the hierarchy, such as the sous chef. Now, sous chef, speaking of sous chef, it is also known as the second chef. A sous chef de cuisine is the second in command, and translated it literally means under chef. The role will typically overlap with the head chef, but the sous chef will tend to be more hands-on and actively involved in the day-to-day running of the kitchen. The sous chef will also fill in for the head chef when they are off or if they are on a holiday, as well as a chef de partie when needed. Some smaller kitchens may not even have a sous chef, while larger kitchens can have more than one. In some luxury ships, there are I think there are sous chefs in every department so that they can focus on their job as a second in line. There are also a few variations that can precede the title to further specify hierarchy. There are sometimes the executive sous chef, there's a junior sous chef, or sometimes there's also what they call a senior sous chef. Now, on to the next title. This is called the chef de partie or chef de partie, also known as the station chef or head of the line chefs. Have you ever heard of the expression, too many cooks spoil the broth? And this is why chef de parties are a vital part of the brigade system. Each chef de partie is responsible for running a specific section in the kitchen. They are usually the only worker in that department, although in some very large kitchens, each station chefs may well have several assistants. Again, this is a term that can have multiple hierarchical precedents, such as a junior sous chef or a senior sous chef. Specifically, chef de partie titles can include the following. We can also have a butcher chef. We can also have a poissonnier or a fish chef. They are expert in the preparation of fish and seafood dishes, right? Now, we also have a fry chef, or what we call the friturier. From the term of it, they specialize in frying foods or the fried foods. We also have what we call the grillardin or the grilled chef. As the name implies, they are the master in the grilled department. There's also what we call the pantry chef or garde-manger. A pantry chef is responsible for the preparation of cold dishes such as salads and pates. Next one, we also have what we called the pastry chef. Of course, you know, a pâtissier, or what we call the king or queen of the pastry section. Usually they make desserts and pastries, and also they bake goods. They bake breads and they make pizzas. All of those involved in the baking. This is the job of the pâtissier or the pastry chef. There's also what we call the rotisseau or the roast chef, responsible for the preparation of roasted meats. There's also what we call the roundsman, also known as chef de tournant, the swing cook or the relief cook, someone who fits in as needed on all the stations rather than having a specific job. The sauté chef and also the vegetable chef are also part of the French Brigade System. Lastly, we have the commis chef. A commis is a junior member of staff that works under a chef de partie in order to learn the ins and outs of a specific station. These are often people that have recently completed or are still undertaking formal culinary training. So most of those who are fresh graduates and it's their first time to work in a luxury ship or in a very large kitchen in a hotel, sometimes they start as a commis chef. So that's about it. That's the French Brigade System. Those are some of the careers that you can apply after you graduate from culinary school or even from the hotel and restaurant management courses. You can search for jobs in luxury ships, in hotels or in restaurants, and once you're in there, you can start from the very bottom, the commis position, and then in this industry, everybody is entitled for promotions. If you are improving and you learn the basics, mentors, then I assure you, you'll get promoted in no time. The career in the culinary industry, you can easily get to the top once you take it seriously. If you learn everything from the basic, if you grasp the basic understanding of the culinary industry, I think that's the technique in getting promoted and earning the higher position. And once you're in the top position, of course, don't forget to look back and train the newbies as well. So I think we're going to end it here. This is the first part 1 of 2 of episode numero 2. And yes, we talked about the careers in hospitality and tourism industry. But in the first part, we focused more on the French Brigade System of the culinary industry. So these are just some of the jobs that you may apply for after you graduate from culinary school or from the hotel and restaurant management school. There are still a lot of careers that we're going to talk about in episode numero 2, part B or part number 2. So I think that's about it for part 1 of 2 of episode numero 2 of Alfonso Cocinero podcast. The topic for tonight is all about careers in hospitality and tourism industry. Next week, we're going to talk about more careers in hotels and in the tourism field. So yeah, that's about it for episode numero 2, part 1 of 2, careers in hospitality and tourism industry. Tonight, we focused on the careers in culinary industry. But next week, I'm really excited for many topics about jobs in hotels and in the tourism industry. So that's about it. Again, this is Alfonso Cocinero for Alfonso Cocinero podcast episode numero 2. I will see you again next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye.
Bye, 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 good.